What's the name of the show? For the big title, I don't know the show. What the name of the show is?
What you didn't want to hear?
Nothing we want to hear?
Or what you didn't want to care to hear? Or?
We don't care to listen?
I don't even remember.
It was good, whatever you said. Nothing no one wants to hear.
What you didn't care to hear? Or?
What you don't care to hear.
Yeah,
what you don't care to hear. Okay.
We're gonna write that down.
What you don't care to hear. Trademark. What you, not Jesus, but little Y. What you don't care to hear. What you don't care to hear. I like a Maverick City title right there. Alright.
Podcast.
Everybody knows a podcast.
Technically, it's more of a video.
Well, vlogcast, whatever.
I'm the interviewee here.
No, we're not interviewing.
Oh wait, you're the interviewee.
Well, we're both doing it together, and we gotta introduce ourselves.
You go first.
You go first.
No, you
Ladies first.
because I don't know what you're gonna say.
All right. This is episode 1, the pilot.
Probably out of one.
We have 101 on why we're doing this. I think it's because I'm lazy and bored, and thought if I could get monetized on YouTube, then I could be one of those traveling YouTubers who just goes on vacations forever and has no life. And
You're not lazy.
well, I'm not lazy. Mentally I am. But it would be nice if we could get monetized and don't have to work.
We're gonna get to the bio.
Huh?
We're gonna get to the bio.
Oh, I am Sanlaeid. I'm currently a production assistant at NASCAR, crew member for Larry Grimmer Sports. That's my homie. Wannabe driver for Sanlaeid Racing. That didn't go well yet. Also drummer, one lead vocalist, and keyboard player for the church band. Look us up on Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, YouTube Music. Also, freelance photographer, videographer, as my work phone is ringing, for Yimsley Creative. Any other titles? Oh, now, and former chaplain of Racers for Christ and Kentucky Motor Speedway.
Always gonna listen.
Anyway, go ahead. Why see what work wants?
Well, I am Hannah Sanlaeid,
Oh, shoot.
the lovely wife to Mr. Ian Sanlaeid of 1 year. I'm a certified medical assistant. I'm also a crew member of Larry Greer Motorsports. I am.
It is motorsports, it is motorsports, not racing. Later, I was just getting confused when I posted. Anyway.
I am about all things meatloaf and penguins. Not much to tell about me. I like to have fun. I like to do stuff. I like to go on adventures and just see where it takes us.
So I always like to hang up on work. I can't.
As the one who will be moderating, that's not really my word,
Well, we're both doing this together.
interviewing Mr. Sanlaeid in this podcast, I will start out with question number 1. Mr. Sanlaeid.
It just does.
All right, Ian. How is it working for NASCAR?
A blur. It's definitely not what I expected. Of course, I gotta be careful because I don't know sensitivity training or nothing like that. I can say that. I expected a different work culture. Being, of course, I've only seen NASCAR from the outside as far as the racing side of things, and I've always been interested in media because of people like Chris Bouillon from Hillview Heights Church, now from Forerunner, and also people like Josh James Artwork, J.C. Nugard. I didn't say the name word. I just can't pronounce his name.
Is it okay? Moving on.
Anyway, I can't think of that. J.C. and then Heath Lawson. People like that always inspire me to do media. Well, yeah, obviously Rich Corbett. He's the GOAT. I mean, sorry, Rich, that's twice. Left turn media, hey! But anyway. But seeing people like that have always inspired me to push myself and do better in media. And just maybe want to tell people stories. But working for NASCAR, it's not bad. It's definitely not like...
Just kind of a different culture than you're used to.
It's definitely not freelance world, obviously, because you're doing it for somebody else. Because with you're promoting a brand, you're not so much storytelling, but it's more of a moving commercial, if that makes sense. Because like for me, when I go to like Kentucky Motor Speedway and when I had the opportunity and privilege to shoot there, for me it was photo for keepsake for one, because I love the sport, I love that track, and I want to see it do well. So for me, I had a different passion shooting there, because I wanted to make Kentucky Motor Speedway, and then drivers like Kelly Clark, who drove mini stock, my buddy Karen English or Logan Borman look good. Pretty much any driver, I don't care if you drive a 3-wheel tricycle, I'll make you look good. I want to, because there's no need to put all the weight on one driver and not the other. That's not how it works. Because racing is a big family, it's a big community. It's like church. I always tell her, said racing and church are kind of similar. If one fails, we all fail, in my opinion. So NASCAR does have that, but we're more in the commercial side of the motorsports world, and it's a big adjustment for me because I got to remember that, you know, this is not my world per se. Because granted, I started out in asphalt, going to Beach and Raceway Park, Kentucky Motor Speedway, being the photographer there. Okay, I just want to do the camera out of the tee. But when I met people like Larry Greer, Philip Cannon, and stuff like that in the dirt world, it kind of brought a human side to the race and stuff. And like for Hannah, she coming from the more conservative homeschool family-oriented side, she got to see the stories of racing. And of course, I like to see the more technical side. But as we've come, obviously we're married. Hey, put a ring on it. But we kind of merged our two views of racing, and that's kind of for my photography, videography. I want to show the stuff that people don't normally see, whereas NASCAR is not so much about that on the forefront. It's more about just showing, all right, this is why you should watch us. This is why we're better than Formula One IndyCar. They don't explicitly say that, but you get the drift. You get it.
The question I've been dying to ask, and I know all of our viewers out there are wanting to know.
All three of you, Mom, Roxanne, and probably me, to see if I suck or not.
And Granddad, always shout out Granddad.
He don't know how to use no phone.
Have you managed to find you a good old southern redneck in NASCAR yet?
Some of you watching this camera, I'll plead the fifth on that one.
So that's a no.
Yeah, I'm the only one, and I'm not even. Anyway.
It's a little different living in the city.
Well, like I said, even in North Carolina, because people who know me, I'm really big on Southern heritage. I'm not like a theologian on Southern heritage and all that, but I do take probably a little bit too. You're not even drinking the stupid thing.
Product placement.
Yeah, it's just sponsor Pepsi. But I always take pride in being where I'm from, maybe to a fault, because like. On a more serious note, I know the South and everything. Even NASCAR has a checkered history about race and just division. But I mean, everybody can learn from something. Like history is there. We're supposed to be taught history, of course. I know it sounds like the school system's kind of a little right now, but we're supposed to have history so we can learn from mistakes on what things we should repeat and what we shouldn't. For like me, South and NASCAR have done their best they can to like learn from things and revamp themselves, almost to a fault, if you ask me, because, you know, we're almost to a point now to where we're told, well, some people are told to be ashamed of who they are or where they came from. Granted, there's some stuff on every side of the building that you can be ashamed of and proud of. Like, of course, NASCAR Wendell Scott, you know, he won, he was the first black guy to win a race. Granted, the way that situation was handled was not the best, but the same thing is though, we got to think about that, you know, that time frame. And I was watching a video, the way they handled the race, so if you don't know the story, Wendell Scott, first black winner in NASCAR, they took the win away from him per se, to kind of protect him, because they said, you know, if the two white ladies kissing him or whatever in the victory lane, they may cause a ruckus. So for one, it was image, and two, safety. But like I said, NASCAR itself has come a long ways in that area, and then the South and America in general. And like, I'm not one to talk about racial stuff, because like I said, before I'm a black person ever, I'm a Christian for one, and then I'm American second, because like I said, we're all the same. We have the same word. We're equals. I mean, granted, in marriage you have, you know, the man, well, Jesus, you know, man and wife, but like everybody has their own roles, but we're equal as far as humans. I don't like her family. I mean, they've taken me in as a son since day one, and my family loves Hannah. I mean, hey, if you're a person, you're a person. You got a heartbeat, you're a human.
Have you gotten to meet any big names or influential people in NASCAR, and how has that been? Is that neat or cool?
I met me.
Not me.
The world's gonna know who I am. Oh, well, I met Corey LaJoy and Bob Pockris. I think is his name. Pockris. Better be careful because I'm on the internet.
And for those who don't know who Bob Pockris is.
Bob Pockris, for people who don't know, Haley Bradburn, is
Day.
Oh, Day. I forgot. I've called you Bradburn a couple times. He is the he's one of the more well-known analysts for NASCAR on Fox. But he's got a lot of credibility. I would put him second to Door Bumper Clear. I love Door Bumper Clear.
And Corey LaJoy?
Door Bumper Clear, Corey LaJoy, Bob Hopkins. No, Door Bumper Clear, no, Dirt Nerds. Door Bumper Clear, Corey LaJoy, Bob
Who
Hopkins.
is Corey LaJoy for those who probably don't know?
Corey LaJoy is a driver on the number 7 Spire Motorsports Chevrolet. So, and he's one of the guys I met. He does a show called Stacking Pennies, which today I had, today, which is May the 10th, I wouldn't say produce, but I helped with the show. All right.
Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to topic number 2. What are some expectations for this move to North Carolina? For those of you who don't know, we just relocated from Glasgow, Kentucky, technically Smiths Grove, a small country area out to this big old city of Charlotte, and it's been an adjustment. So what are expectations for you for this move?
Go racing.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Well, expectations, it's hard, as like I said, I know podcasts are stupid because everybody says the same thing 2 different ways, so woohoo, we're going to do it anyway. Expectation for the move, yes, I came here for the job in NASCAR and to get out of the factory job just because it was getting to a point where it was hurting me, hurting you, and then it just a bunch of other stuff. Which one's the new one? Pit stop. But, oh, that's hot. Anyway,
That stuff's nasty. Give me some Sprite Zero.
the expectations, as you were asking me if I was really interrupted, is to somehow make some connections while I'm out here. And I'm not sitting here going to beg for GoFundMes and stuff because that's not the way racing works. You got to earn it, and that's what I want to do. And hopefully, this NASCAR production job, I can make some connections, and or at least just show my face around here because we're going to XR Super Series, whatever they call it, XR Super Series Thursday to go see Chase Briscoe and Jonathan Davenport run, amongst some other great drivers, the Super Late Model race. Because I really just have to show my face at the racetrack until I get a chance to race. The cost of living is a lot higher out here in Smith Grove, Kentucky, would say. So a race car will probably not be in the near future, but hopefully in the nearer future.
Okay. You mentioned going to the XR this Thursday. What are some events coming up that the 2 of us are going to? That maybe some of our listeners might be interested in, or maybe.
you know what? Can I say that? You didn't went on to the business side of the podcast. We were just supposed to be making fun of the podcast.
Oh.
I'm just joking. Well, we're talking about going to probably XR, do some freelance stuff. We didn't get media pass, so we'll be limited. We went to Hickory last week, but they already have a track photographer there, so that's out of the room. We're pretty much going to go do whatever right now.
I would like to note that one thing that is coming up here next Sunday, which is May 15th.
That's Kansas this Sunday.
Is that I have convinced Jim to sign up to donate blood. We are both going to do this together out of the goodness of our hearts, and also the little bit of incentive of getting a free ticket to the Charlotte race, the Coke 600 here on Memorial Day weekend. I am excited about that. I'm going to give a whole pint. I hope we don't pass out, and that'll be a new exciting adventure. We'll see how that goes. I'm really surprised this one's going to do it. We'll see if he makes it.
I probably won't, but it's for the...
He's going to be flat on his back, passed out.
Well, she was going to go to race without me either way, and I might be working the race for NASCAR, but we're just in the grandstand to enjoy it. And so I was like, I'll donate some blood. A lot of fellas I can sell the ticket for 200% upcharge like everybody else does when they're scalping tickets. And then pay off this water electric bill or something, whatever.
We actually don't have to pay water for this place.
Oh,
it's covered.
Well, electric bill is not important. If you have Hulu Plus,
well, plus with all the windows in this place, I don't feel like we have to have a lot of lights on, which is really nice.
That's true. But you can't walk around naked.
Well, we don't do that anyway.
I would like to, but they have those freaking windows. Right hand, new house, go ahead.
I really can't read your writing on it.
It says, okay. Oh, this is from me.
Oh, no, I'm not answering any questions.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
So, we found a new church up here called Sojo Church. I think it was originally called Sojourner Church. And we went for Mother's Day. We showed up late. We was on CPT.
We didn't do it intentionally, though. We thought it started at 9:30. Actually, started at 9.
Well, you said he'll schedule. So, I'm going to burp again on camera. All right.
We didn't do that.
It's my show. Oh, no. Anyway, so it was a Mother's Day speech, so we always had this running joke. Every time we go to visit a church, it's always a special service. We go to our new home church, and what do? We go to
Mother's Day weekend.
keep talking.
Do what?
Keep talking. Keep talking. I think I want you to record on this.
You didn't hit record.
I did.
I'm gonna kill you.
It was so fun. Alright, anyway. And I'm terrible with remembering sermons. I'm not a music person. But something that kind of stuck out to me is just kind of this season of life we're in with transitions and stuff. Again, I know stereotypical podcast for me, but it was talking about this mother who had sent her son off to college on a Sunday or Monday, and then pretty much was burying him later that week. You know, she was mourning with her friends and family, and one comment she said, "This is wonderful." And so, like, I think she's basically trying to say, like, count the joy in the battles or whatever.
And that really joy is not a feeling. There's a difference between joy and happiness. Happiness is more of a feeling that we try to get. That joy is more of a conscious decision that we have to make to find even when we don't feel like it. And even when we come against hard times.
Well, and I had, when I was working, first I worked at Cabelco, my old job, I had watched a sermon by Lecrae, and he was talking about how the shepherd cares for sheep, how when a sheep runs off so many times or becomes troublesome, the shepherd will tend to break the leg of the sheep to make the sheep rely on him and to carry him, and then the sheep will end up being, the one with the broken leg will be the one closest to the shepherd. And that kind of, like I said, that kind of made me tear up a little bit because, granted, like I said, again, poor me, but like the last couple of years was like trying to find job placement, just kind of, you know, figure out how things with work, school, and everything, and just kind of burning the candle from multiple wicks. I think, because I wrote a song called 2 Week a few years ago. It started with Girl, but it kind of morphed into something else. But me and my friend, brother Matthew, finished the song. For me, I don't really write really well unless something has really bad happened. I wrote 2 Week from a season of brokenness because the song is truthful things like, I'm 2 weeks lifted up my prayer, 2 weeks lifted up my face. Because there's moments when you're broken, is kind of when you're the strongest because you're not leaning on yourself, you're leaning on Jesus and you're leaning on God. And I love, you know, the part about, you know, the legs are broken, the shepherd carries you, and then you end up being closer to Jesus in those moments. The moments when everything's good is when I'm just kind of free-flowing. Granted, like when I first got this NASCAR job, I was off the rails excited, you know, and just excited. And then like in the bad moments, you know, I leaned into God more because I wrote a song the other night because we were having a pity party one night and I wrote a song of it. Actually, it was called, I renamed the song. The Father Speaks is what it's called, by the way. Okay. But it's just, in the moments of weakness is where sometimes you see God move the most, is where you see the truth come out. We need to hurry because that camera's going to stop and say it. Alright, because I talk too much. Alright, so this weekend, on a higher note, because I think we got about 10 minutes left before this camera stops here, and if it stops into the podcast, whatever. Alright, so we're going from church back to racing. Anything you want to say about This Is Wonderful? No. Alright, so that was a bunch of jibber jabber. I will say, I tried to buddy up the Cora LaJoy today. They were talking about noodling. So where y'all go noodling at? I said,
I don't want to go noodling.
Well, Cora's like, you know somewhere now? I said, no, I'm from Kentucky. I'm kind of redneck, and I know a turtle about yee or something like that, real stupid. And they were kind of digging it, and like Ryan Flores, or whoever his name is, the tire changer for Ryan Blaney now, was like, oh, did you watch the Kentucky Derby? I said, no, I only watch real dirt racing. And then I was like, that's the stupidest like, look at me, the comments I've ever made in front of Cora LaJoy in a NASCAR.
What did they say?
I don't know, just kind of laugh, whatever.
Any of them been to Kentucky?
They were asking about Kentucky bourbon. I was out on drink, so I mean, if I drunk, I probably wouldn't have my clothes on right now to do this podcast. I'll keep it on the suit here anyway. All right, so we're going to XR this weekend. You excited?
Yes, we're going to see the Chase Briscoe race, and others. Jonathan Davenport, Scott Bloomquist, some other big names that are going to be there.
Your teleprompter's right here. You just read names off.
That's what I'm doing. So really excited about that. My biggest thing is I'm really, of course, excited to see Chase Briscoe race as one of my favorite NASCAR drivers and see him on the dirt. I may or may not have gone all the way to the mall, which is literally 2 miles or less across the street, to buy me a Chase Briscoe dirt truck from the Lionel store here to get signed on Thursday. Lionel.
Lionel. Say it again.
Lionel.
Lionel.
Lionel?
Lionel.
That's Lionel.
Lionel.
Vivian Franklin would say that you're probably right because she always teases me how about how I pronounce
Us Southerners, see, we're blue collar, we work for a living, so we ain't got time to say them syllables. Unlike them yuppies.
Anyway, I'm going to get my truck signed this Thursday, hopefully. Get me a picture, get dirty, and have some fun.
I will say these people,
Get him a chili dog. He might not make it if he don't get one sometime
the
soon.
food at SMI properties have not been pleasant.
But maybe this will surprise you.
It's an SMI property.
Maybe it'll surprise you.
I have low expectation. Well, if you can't put a hot dog in the bun correctly, I'm just saying, that's pretty piss poor. You put it in, so your bun's supposed to go like this, but you put the hot dog, that's bad.
That is true. That's
$4.
how they did it at the dragway here at Charlotte. That was a little...
I appreciate those $2.50 a piece hot dogs at Beach Bend a lot more now. I'm paying for this crap.
And Buddy's...
Oh, Buddy is fire.
sandwiches.
Back Porch Grill, and if you ever go to Beach Bend, he's out there, eat there. Alright, so other people on here, Mark Marler might not be there, but got Mike Marler,
Kyle Strickler.
Brandon Overton.
Woo!
So
I like Brandon Overton.
Hannah named one of our teddy bears after Brandon Overton.
It was my marriage with Man's teddy bear.
What marriage of teddy bear? Tim McCready will be there, Kyle Brand, huh?
So that could sound weird if
Anyway, Kyle Bronson, Jonathan Davenport, Jensen Ford, Carson Ferguson, the little brother of, I can't think of his name. The other Ferguson, Chris Ferguson. So I'm excited to see Chris Madden. I'm excited to see Bloomquist. I never had a chance to see Bloomquist race. So
Did you say Weiss? What's his name?
Ricky Weiss, Ross, Robinson. So we're ready. Joseph Joyner, I'm happy for him. Up the front. He is somebody who's actually good at stuff like this, like vlogging. And so I'm not sure what I should be saying in this video, but I made a proposal at NASCAR about trying to get Hunt the front to do something. Oh, I shouldn't say that. No, right. Just in case that didn't happen. But anyway. Alright, so. Alright. So closing out, I got 2 rapid questions, right? Okay.
What?
2 rapid questions for you.
Okay. Oh,
So,
not me.
okay. In your mind, as a newer NASCAR fan, what can make NASCAR better now?
I think that they need to do stories behind the drivers and their families. I think that draws people in for someone like me who never was introduced to racing, but someone who cares about the personal side. That draws people in. It gets their emotions tied to drivers, to their families, and then it gives them somebody to root for, somebody that they feel they can relate to, and somebody that they can cheer for and hope wins and keep track of watching each week. So I think they need to do stories about drivers, their families, get to know them behind the scenes.
Matt Hagan, I'm sorry. I think what you can do, of course, I agree with that from the media side. I think they need to loosen the reins up on the drivers, because you obviously tell that drivers are kind of have had to tone down things as cultures change, which some of it's good, some of it's bad, but there's very few drivers, even in the dirt world, who don't have a lot of personality. Because, like what's it? Your favorite driver, a lot of people have mentioned he did not really, because I was taking pictures of SRX last year of Chase Elliott, and I wouldn't say we had eye contact, but we looked looked like we were looking towards each other, and I was taking pictures, and I felt like he just kind of looked at me in the car like man, alright. So he's not which is good. He's very humble. It seems like, of course, people who don't like Chase have a different opinion. He's not stuck up, but I think they could definitely use some more personality, loosen the reins, and also. Another thing me and Hannah was debating about this week was talking about bridging the gap between generations and drivers and fans. See, I burped again. See, Hannah's a newer fan, so like stage racing, the playoffs or something for her that she enjoys because it creates a drama. I do somewhat, but also I like the older style of racing, just where you had a championship through the whole year. And I feel like they've kind of that point now, they've dug themselves in the holes. Going backwards would actually, as far as going back to traditional racing, would actually lose viewers now, because you've committed the system, but it hasn't really worked in drawing in new fans per se. So I think you can go back to somewhat more semi-traditional style of racing, give the drivers personalities, and heck, go back to short tracks if you can. I mean, Dale Jr.'s been talking about it forever. Like the 75th anniversary of NASCAR is coming up next year. Why not go to a place like Hickory or National Fairgrounds and do a one-off race, instead of All-Star racing yet another mile-and-a-half track? I mean, when most people see NASCAR, they see the mile-and-a-half tracks, they think left turns, and they're right. There have been times I've watched the race and was like, good grief, why am I watching this? So then I'll turn on World Outlaws, watch World Racing. Alright. Anything other thoughts?
No, that's good.
What You Didn't Come to Hear podcast. Well, this is episode 1 of probably -3. So all 3 of you watching, Kathleen Sanlaeid, Roxanne Bradburn, me. So we hope you enjoy it. I think we're about to run out of film. Has gone to the crapper.
Cheers.
See you next time.
Stuff nascar.
Here's a new list of drivers though.
That's a lot. I should made a count. There's his name. I was looking for him.